7:08 in the morning, and we are here with, you guessed it, the captain himself and a special guest from Fleet and Family. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing really well. It was some interesting weather last night, though. I'm not sure if everybody was expecting it. I certainly wasn't, but that wind was something else. On the way in here, I was driving past overturned trash cans and stuff kind of rolling across the street. So when you wake up this morning, please take a look outside, make sure everything is safe, and clean up a little bit after all that wind, and I guess keep an eye on the forecast. That one caught us off guard last night, though.
And we're going to continue to get that, too. I've seen that we have, like, yellow warnings for wind coming in,
yeah.
and so prepare for more of it.
It has certainly been some interesting weather this spring. It is not what I saw the first couple of years that we were here with. It was just beautiful, but it was warm and it was dry. Now we've had all this rain and the unexpected wind. I will say, I was checking out the levels of the reservoirs, though, and we are up over 50% in the Guadalcacin Reservoir. It is probably 30, almost 40% higher than it was the last couple of years. So even though all that rain may not have been the weather that we were used to, it is certainly what we needed here. So for anybody who's wondering about some of the policies that we have in place about water restrictions, I'm working through that right now with the Spanish side to make sure I'm lined up with them. But I think that we'll probably get a little bit of relief this year because throughout all of Andalusia, it is up around 53, 54% for all of the reservoirs. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, first time I came here, I heard nothing but, like, we're in a major drought.
Yeah, it was.
Like, you cannot use water for anything except for drinking.
Yeah, once in a generation kind of drought where the levels were getting so low, it was starting to reveal archaeological sites that are now covered again by all of the rainfall, which is, it is an interesting time to watch what's happening with all of that. This is apparently much closer to what is normal historically for the weather patterns here, but it's interesting how much it just kind of fluctuates. So.
Getting a few of those clouds, and the next thing you know, it's just nothing but sunshine.
Yep.
And getting those UV rays, and I'm outside for 10 minutes walking the dog. And wife's like, "Oh, you're burnt." I'm like, "Thank you, wife. I feel it."
Yeah. My wife is diligent in reminding me that my skin is not impervious, so I'm generally slathered in something that protects me from the sun, which is great advice. Your skin is what you got. So
it is.
Really as the season changes and we're starting to get into summertime, make sure you got some protection for your skin. Make sure you got something on there. Don't forget to reapply it. It's all common sense kind of stuff that we generally learn probably 30 years too late. So
no, I have an ongoing ad that is played even through winter, through the rains. Like, make sure you wear sunscreen because it will get you no matter what.
Absolutely.
And so hopefully we'll even get some good weather because I know we're going to have an egg hunt coming up here in a little bit.
We do. We got a couple of really fun things. We'll talk about them at the end of at the show for some of them. But yeah, the egg hunt specifically about Easter week, the Holy Week, Semana Santa. There's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. It is traditionally one of the holiest times of the year for a couple of major religions. So we have in Ramadan and Eid for the Muslim community. We're coming up on Passover. We're coming up on Good Friday and Semana Santa, which is quite the experience here in southern Spain. So if this is your first time here, it is different. This is one of southern Spain in particular, one of the most traditional Catholic regions in the world. So the way that they celebrate Holy Week, it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. The way that they celebrate it here is unique, and it is a sight. So getting out there and enjoying it is something I highly recommend.
Yeah, it's an experience to tell all the new people that we have coming in. It's like, hey, go out in town and actually enjoy it. Even if you don't believe or you don't practice.
Yep.
It's still an event.
Yeah, my wife and I love getting dinner. It seems like no matter where we go to get dinner, you can hear the drum. And then you start to hear some of the brass. You're like, well, there's a procession coming. That's cool. And you get to see one of the processions marching down those little winding streets. It's so much fun.
And then we have a special guest here from Fleet and Family. I know you'd like to introduce yourselves to everyone who's listening.
Oh, sure. I would love to. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on the show today.
I'm
Laura Davis, and I'm the director at Fleet and Family.
Yeah, and I think we'll have a lot of good stuff to talk about once we get past a little bit of music. But before we do that, I do want to get one shout out, someone who's not even here right now. NAS Sigonella. Today is their change of command. So Captain Shoemaker. He will turn over command to Capt. Dan Martins, who is assuming command of NAS Sigonella, which is obviously over in Italy. But the reason I want to shout out to him, he and I have known each other for over 30 years. So at the Naval Academy, when you first show up, they call you a plebes. And over plebe summer, you spend basically all of normalcy getting kind of drilled out of you and all of Naval Academy getting drilled into you. He and I were together over plebe summer, and it is amazing to think about how far we've come in 30 years. So, Shu, I know you don't hear me, but congratulations, brother. Man, it's been a heck of a ride. I'm really proud of you. And you got a fan rooting for you as you go on to your next job as the Chief of Staff in Navy Region, Naval District, Washington. So, man, it's just really cool watching the kids grow up and do things like this. But
I'm sure we could send him in a little audio clip. You could send him a nice little email saying, hey, mentioned you on the radio. Don't forget to remember our summer back in the academy.
Oh, yeah, we talk about that all the time. It's pretty funny.
But for right now, like you said, we got some music to play, give us a nice little break, and I know our special guest, Laura, has selected a beautiful song that I truly love. It's one of my favorites of all time, especially the band. It's System of the Down, and it's Toxicity. So enjoy as we come right back after the music. Oh, good old System of the Down coming back in, and you know what? I still love it every single time I listen to it. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more of that as the hour continues on. But right now we want to shift a little bit of the focus over to our FFSC director. I know we have a few questions. We want to get to know you a little bit more. We want to see, what's your experience? Tell us about your time in Spain, especially for all the new people that are PCSing in.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Well, this is actually my second time here in Spain. I was here for about 5 years, from 2011 2017. And then I went back to the States for 6 years and came back in 22. So I love it here. I love being part of this community. There's something special about Rota.
Yeah, there really is. Yeah, the way they embrace us, the way that they want to learn about us as much as we want to learn about them, I think it's fantastic.
I do too. And I've met a lot of people who just took me under their wing and kind of made me part of their family, and that's been really special for me.
That's really cool. Yeah. Is that why you came back?
Yeah, that's essentially why I came back. After COVID, we were in the States and during COVID, and kind of gives you a life perspective shift of what's important, and we realized a lot of people that we loved were here, so we wanted to come back.
That's fantastic that you had the chance to be able to come back. But it's interesting that COVID, the realizations that a number of people had. I wonder if we're starting to lose some of that because there's so much happening right now. It's easy to forget about what we found to be important over COVID, and I hope that people find a way to hold on to that, even with all the other turbulence that's going on. So stock markets or executive orders or the world, whatever's happening around the globe, I think if you can anchor yourself to those things that matter the most to you, it provides a nice steady keel to be able to weather all those storms coming your way.
That's a really good point, sir.
Glad you guys were able to.
Yeah, the friends, the family, everybody that you meet. Even coming here, I've only been here a year, right? I've already made a whole bunch of local national friends who I will hang out with every Friday.
That's awesome.
Because we all have the same interest. And
that's cool.
You would think oh man, they want to do something different. It's no, they want to go to Comic-Con with us. They want to head up. They want to play Magic Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm just cool. Hey, what music do you like to listen to? It's you know what? I'm a big Metallica fan. I love American music. I'm really?
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable how similar our cultures are in so many ways. And that's something I go back to all the time when I'm meeting with some of the senior leadership here, whether it's civilian or military. Our cultures are so close, and we've been had such a close relationship for hundreds and hundreds of years. I tell everybody this is the oldest relationship the United States has is with Spain. They're part of the reason that we were able to break away from Great Britain and establish the United States as its own country. So it's probably surprising on the personal level that you find people with so many interests that are similar here. But from the huge strategic international level, it's not surprising to me because we've been such close friends for so long.
So it just taking us under the wing, hanging out, whether you just have to ask, go out, explore a little bit. And I know a lot of people are nervous when they first get here.
Yeah.
I was 100% I don't know where to go. I don't know how to park.
Yeah.
My car is a giant boat. There's no way for me to fit in these fun spaces. Now I have a little micro van. I'm yippee, I'm zipping everywhere. I'm going up to Sevilla. I'm going up Granada. I'm trying to make a trip up to Madrid.
Sure.
Sure.
And just to give a plug, most people when they get here, they go through our ICR program.
Yeah.
And I think that our folks, our local nationals who run that program are fabulous. Leo and Maribel, they really are great ambassadors to Spain and give people a really great impression of who the Spanish people are. And I think it just makes people instantly feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
Being here,
Those two are fantastic. They absolutely are. The program is great. What they expose them to, getting the chance to get out in town and experience some of this stuff out in town too. Yeah, it's really cool.
Still trying to get some olive oil too. They took us over to like a little olive oil area, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna mark this one down because we love to cook at our house. So we're just like looking to like add a little bit more of that like Spanish flair because olives and olive oil is one of the major productions here in Spain.
The olives themselves, getting all those olives when we have the chance, and the olive oil we have.
Sure.
I feel like we have a cupboard full of olive oil right now. And we're probably going to take some with us when we move from here, so we have some of the great Spanish olive oil with us in our next duty station.
I was going to say, I would highly recommend that. When we went back, we took, 5-liter jugs of olive oil. You just pack it up well, and they'll let you ship it. And it's great. It's a great gift to give other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
States when you get there. So
yeah, because it's so different. They all have those cool bottles that they have. There's a story behind all of them. Very different than what you go by in the grocery stores back in the States.
Like, here's this extra virgin olive oil in a plastic bottle. Like, no, I want this glass vase that is it's beautiful. It's everything that I would want. And it's something that I can keep too and like, use as decorations or use as like a flower pot.
I also think it's cool that every restaurant you go to, they have like their own not house olive oil, but their own olive oil that they use with their stuff. So you get to try all the different kinds, and you can buy those kinds of olive oils too. Yeah,
there's a little bit of something for like if you're going out for tapas or something. Like, yep, we have it ready for you. Don't worry.
Yeah. So sorry, getting us back on track here after talking about all the olive oil. One of the things that I try and tell everybody I have the chance to meet with is that the reason that we're here, the installation here is to make sure that the warfighters are able to deploy on time, every time with the resources they need to execute their mission. And I look to you, Laura, and your team over in Fleet and Family as one of the core support elements that we have here to provide them the resources they need. But for those who haven't really had much exposure with Fleet and Family, what would you offer up to them as what you provide to them? What are some resources you have for our families here?
Well, thank you for saying that about us, sir. That is our mission.
Yeah.
We're here to support and help, and that's the main thing. We just want to help people. Doesn't really matter what the issue is. We might have a program that would cover it or information that will help that person, but if we don't, we'll try to help find them that information. So we are also considered the information referral source on the base. So yes, we have programs that essentially follow the military life cycle. So anytime, you're talking from the very beginning, is if this is your first deployment, all the way through the very end of your career and trying to get out, we have programs that help support the active duty and their families. We also support civilians and contractors here overseas as well.
Yeah, so you talk about the military life cycle, which is interesting. I'd never heard that phrase before. But it covers kind of beyond that as well. It's almost like the actual life cycle too, because you have people who help with new parents as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a level within a level,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So yes, we have providers that help from if you have a brand new child up to the age of 3. We have a new parent support home visitor that can help with ages and stages and just understanding development, things like that. We also have programs that are that's in our CAP program. So under the CAP program, we also have mental health counseling for individuals, couples, families, adolescents. We have a adolescent counselor who's actually located at the school on base, so we have a lot of resources like that. We have the family advocacy program, which is more of our case management and support for domestic violence and child abuse programs, and we also have the SAIL program, which is a virtual. It's for suicide-related behaviors, but there's a virtual case management program that would go along with that.
Yeah, so I guess if I would offer up to the people who are listening, when you are having a rough day out there, these are the folks who are standing by and ready to provide you the support that you need to help you find a way to work through those rough times, which I admire. I know how much of a challenge I can be when I'm having a rough day, and you guys have the opportunity to help people all the time who are going through some very difficult times. So I mean, the resiliency that you provide to our force here is incredible, and we're not able to do the mission without that. So thank you for the support that you provide.
Absolutely, and that serves just one piece of our programming. We have 3 other core programs as well. I don't know, did you want me to speak about that?
Of course, yes.
Okay, great. So we also have the work and family life programs. Those typically, most people might already be familiar with those. This is also for people in need, but it's directly related to deployment support. We have an ombudsman program where we train ombudsmen to help our families. We have a transition assistance, like I mentioned, when you're getting out of the military.
Yeah.
We have support around that. Personal financial management, family employment, and we also have the exceptional family member program. So all of those fall under the waffle. We call it the waffle side of the house. It sounds delicious, right?
I know, it's a term I hadn't heard before coming here.
And then we have our sexual assault response program, where there's case management, prevention, education, victim advocacy, and response coordination. And our newest program is the Integrated Primary Prevention Program. So we have a provider who's called the Integrated Prevention Coordinator, IPC, as we all like acronyms. So that's a newer program where that provider is working directly with the commands to help identify maybe some concerns or issues going on through the use of surveys like DEOCS and things like that to see if there's any kind of destructive behaviors going on in the command. So they're trying to help get ahead of that, provide prevention services, and basically support, improving performance and organizational health by giving out resources and connecting people with.
Yeah, so for anybody in a leadership position out there who's listening right now, I would offer up, if you haven't heard from the IPC, if you don't know much about it, please reach out. I think that she is an amazing resource. She's done an awful lot to help me understand where we can kind of focus the resources we have to help people who are trying to work through different parts of the climate that they have in their commands to make sure that they're more effective. It's not a bad thing. This is a great thing. Having her help us understand where we can look is just as important as sorry, I'm stumbling over my own words right here, but it's helping understand what the issue is often the most difficult part of solving a problem. Sure. So a lot of times we say there's a problem here, and then we just start doing something about it without necessarily understanding what the problem is. What she does is she helps us understand what the problem is at the executive level, at the CO, the XO, the CMC level. So for those in command, it doesn't matter how good you think your command is. There are always ways that we can tweak them to improve them. There are ways that we can provide better resources or different resources to our sailors, our airmen, our Marines, even our soldiers. So you use it. She is exceptional at helping us understand where those issues are so that we can put our resources towards them.
Yes, sir. And I might also add that I think just her being able to be in there as a support to the command. So it's one less thing that the commands have to worry about. I know there's a lot of responsibility of taking care of your service members. And when you have issues that aren't necessarily related to mission, but they're detracting from that because they're causing morale issues or people are getting in trouble at work and things like that, she's in there to try to help identify, create a plan that is proactive and address it and take that off the plate of the command leadership.
Yeah, just really what helps bring Rota to like the forefront of one of the best bases that you could possibly be in. Like that, having somebody to help with the climate in your command, because I know every single person has heard like, hey, I've always had an issue with command climate in my previous place. Coming to Rota, it's so much better. She's one of the main reasons why. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's a couple of things that go into that, but she is a core element of that. And I will always say people want to be in Rota. Like when we see recruiting actions or we see orders pop, just how quickly people want to take those orders and those jobs. People really, really, really want to be here. Like you were here before and you realized just how special it was and came back. And when you have a core of people who want to be here, it makes the place better. Everybody is a place that they want to be. They're working with other people who want to be here. It's a pretty magical place where we are.
I agree, sir. The secret's gotten out a little bit, though.
That's okay. I'll take it. We'll keep collecting all the people who want to be here. Keep making this place just a little bit better for everybody.
Sure.
And that's what we're going to keep doing. And we're even going to help out, too, with a little bit of music and a little bit of a break. We always have some time for some Tay-Tay, some Taylor Swift.
Always, yes.
Because
all the Swifties out there.
Oh, 100%. And, of course, what better way to do it than with a little bit of Karma? 7:35, and we have returned for the CO show because we got some Morning Joe, and I've just finished my coffee. But doesn't mean we're finished with the show yet. I know we have a few more things we want to take a little bit more time to appreciate and talk about.
Yeah, so Laura, you talked a little bit about some of the programs that are offered there, but what's it like being the director of Fleet and Family?
Sir, for me, it is truly an honor, honestly, because I get to go to work every day and work with really fabulous people. All of the employees there, I'm saying this with absolute sincerity. Every person that works at Fleet and Family is truly a professional, and they're dedicated to helping other people. And they do a great job of being creative, being fun, helping each other, helping our clients. And it's just so nice to work in that kind of environment where if anybody walks in or anybody has an issue, either whether it's internal with one of us or if it's with a client, they will stop everything they're doing to try to help. And it's just so nice to be a part of a community like that. So I feel really honored to get to lead people of such caliber.
Yeah, I will say every time I go over there are some incredible new ideas that somebody is offering up. And I love the way that your team just kind of keeps pushing in different directions to find new and innovative ways to reach out to the community, to provide different support, to just ideas to make their lives better, to make all of our lives better. It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. And for me, it's especially fun because I get to use their gifts. So I try to say, please bring to the table what you want to do with your program. Yes, we have protocols and policies that we need to follow, but within that, we can be creative. And I think they do a really good job of saying, hey, what about this? Can we try this? And I try to say yes to most everything, and I think that they are wonderful at bringing new ideas, new innovative ways to reach our community, to help other people. So, yeah, it's just great. They're always developing themselves and learning more about their programs. Very passionate about understanding everything there is to know within their programming and then some.
Yeah.
So
and they're really good at finding the way they kind of work together too. All those, not really seams, but the way they blend together and strengthening those seams.
Sure, because all of the programs are significantly different.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, we have a lot of different things going on at Fleet and Family, but somehow we're able to cross those lines and team up as partners, and we do that with ourselves, with helping each other with our programming. Also reaching out to our community partners. We also try to collaborate with, MWR, USO, Navy and Marine Corps Relief Society, Red Cross. So we're always the CDC. We're always doing things as groups because I think that makes our programs more robust. It's just face it, it's fun to work with other people to do something different outside of your normal daily routine. Yeah,
it's interesting. Vice Admiral Chebby, in an address to all of the CNIC leadership, the COs, challenged everybody to, and I believe the quote was, shoot across lanes. So don't focus on just what you think your lane is, but be willing to look beyond that to understand how your lane can support all those other lanes. And I think you guys do an amazing job of embodying that.
Oh, thank you so much. That is one of our goals, is to continue to foster those relationships. Yeah. So it just makes us stronger, and it provides better services for our families here.
Yeah, and I think it's a great idea to use those different parts of the installation, whether it's MWR, as you mentioned, or it's USO, both of whom have fantastic reach, and using that to get different messages and ideas out. And I don't know if there's something coming up or later on this month, the Kraken Games, and I think that is something that it's our first real step, I think, at using that idea of bringing all those groups together. So what do you know about the Kraken Games, though?
Yeah, it's for me, I think this is one of the most interesting programs that we've been able to offer in a long time. So it's come from the mind, body, mental fitness modules.
Yeah.
So, and that was a collaboration. Headquarters had in mind that they wanted Fleet and Family and MWR, at least those two entities, to pair up to start offering these types of training. So basically the essence is to give people more coping skills to deal with daily stressors, but also to focus on building resilience. So our team has been very creative and have come up with the Kraken games. So that's going to be, the next one is April 24th. So it's kind of a play off of Squid Games, except, less dangerous. So
hopefully, yeah.
So we're hoping that we can get at least 2 service members from each command to participate. There's 2 different sessions, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So one from 9 to 12 and then the other from 1 to 4. They can register by either calling our front desk and asking for Stephanie Shelby, or we have a QR code on some of our flyers for people to sign up. But what it is basically, I went to see the premiere of it, and I just thought it was so much fun. So it's kind of like, what is that show? Is it, I can't remember the name of it, where you're doing all these obstacle courses and you're trying to...
There was Wipeout. That was one of them.
I was thinking.
Yeah, it's kind of like Wipeout.
Or American Ninja Warriors. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we're right there. So right there.
Yeah, it's like that. So we have all these sort of challenges, if you will, that people are going to go through. They're very specific and they're very orderly. They do the challenge and then they talk about what that was like for them, the stressors that they had, and how they can better overcome that. Or, so it's just a really innovative way for people to learn more about themselves, to promote team cohesion, things like that. So I highly recommend that people check it out because it will be really fun.
Yeah, I hope it is. I don't know if I'm gonna participate because I'm not sure the almost 50-year-old body is gonna be up for those challenges. But I am going to swing by. I want to see how this goes. MC2, you going to join us?
You know what? Me and I think MC2 Ruiz are thinking about hopping in. We are looking at doing a lot more events through MWR. We're trying to do a lot more shoots, trying to get a lot more stuff for social media.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably do this. We're going to at least need to get a lot more contact information. So so how do people reach out? Like, is there an email, phone number? I know you already mentioned somebody who we can call, but one more time for our listeners.
Shelby would be the point of contact in our office, and her email address is stephanie.l.shelby.naf@us.navy.mil. She's in Global under Stephanie Shelby. And also there's a QR code on our flyers, and you can find these things on our social media as well, like Facebook. It's not in our Vamos this go around, but it will be in future iterations. But I would just, highly recommend people call, sign up, use the QR code to register.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if they're looking for something other than the Kraken games, where are some good ways to learn more about the resources that you were talking about earlier?
So yes, sir. In general, our CNIC website has most of our classes and programs. If you want to look at something specific, our Vamos magazine also has all the classes, all the dates, times, and when we offer those each month. So that's a very good resource. We also put things out on our Facebook page on a regular basis as well.
Good. So hitting up Facebook, going to Vamos, the ways that I think we talk about it almost every time I'm on the show. Those are such great resources. If you go onto the NAVSTA Rota Facebook page, we will often have links to all the stuff that we've discussed on radio shows, or we link with Fleet and Family or MWR or any of the other organizations to help people know where those resources are.
Sure.
Yes,
and
put the information out.
Don't do social media, just call us. It's 727-3232.
Yeah, or stop by. It's pretty close to the coffee shop in the library. You can grab yourself a cup of joe and then head over and find out what some of the amazing programs they have over at Fleet and Family.
And I'm sure we can get a QR code at the fitness center where everyone goes for PT. You could probably move it at the galley. There's a whole bunch of other places that will probably be found a little bit later, but just throwing out some ideas.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah, great way to keep that reach up. One more thing I want to talk about with the mind, body, mental fitness. The IPC we talked about earlier is helping coordinate a new program that we're calling Anchored on Action. And it is a way to there are different resources that will come to a couple of different events, but the focus is really trying to provide different tools to our sailors to be able to make good decisions in difficult choices. So it's helping understand what some of those risks and challenges look like, and then some of the ways that you can help build in not really pre-planned responses, falling back on some of the way that we operate here, but having tools in your toolkit when you recognize these challenges to be able to get past those challenges. So Anchored on Action, you'll see some folks who are in that area, and it's specifically kind of kicking off with the Kraken game. So in between the two sessions, we'll be there with some cool activities to be able to work through some of those things.
Yeah, so definitely keep an ear out as we move forward through the month of April. Keep an eye out on social media. Can't stress this enough. It's how you get all these cool events. Again, what makes Rota great? We have all these activities, all these sponsored events. So be sure to pick them up as much as you can. Enjoy it. It's a fun little experience that you get with everybody, especially with a little bit of music too. But I know we're coming close to the top of the hour, so I want to make sure you have a little break from me, a little break from everything, with a little bit of your music for your drive into work. And right now, we got Calvin Harris and the Disciples with How Deep Is Your Love?
So that campaign.
7:49, and we have returned for Morning Joe with the CO. Still haven't refilled my cup yet, but hey, you know what? I think we're going to take a little bit of a break here in about 11 minutes. Plenty of time to get some more coffee, but for right now, we want to cover down on a few more activities and a few more things coming up. I know we're in the month of the military child, sir, and you have a few things you want to talk about, right?
Yeah, well, I wish I could spend an entire show talking about the month of the military child, because... And disappointingly, I wish I'd gotten to this earlier. I didn't think about it. The kids are all on their way to school right now, so none of them are really going to hear what I'm saying, but I'm proud of them. I mean, it is a month to celebrate kids who deal with adversity on a daily, monthly, yearly basis that most other kids won't have to work through. Mm-hmm. I grew up the son of a senior chief, so I moved up and down the west coast of California through most of my formative years, and I remember how difficult it was to go through those pack-outs, to say goodbye to all your friends, to show up at that first day of new school. It was so intimidating. But the resiliency that it built in me, my ability to adapt to new situations, I think it helped. It gave me some ideas of what it's going to feel like, and to know that as you work through those things, it's going to be okay. It's not always fun, but you find a way to work through. You find ways that you make friends and who you can rely on. And our kids are learning some amazing skills, but that doesn't make it any easier. And the folks that we have here helping them with that is, I don't remember having those same resources and support when I was growing up. But the way the school, yesterday I was at Purple Up, the Purple Up event they had at the school. And all of the effort they went through to recognize the kids, to let the kids know just how special they are, to let the kids know just how incredible it is what they're able to work through every year. It was amazing. I mean, having kids, had a choir singing up there, so showing off some of the skills of the high school choir that they have, kids reading poems, kids sharing stories about what it's like to be a military child. Then they closed it out with a chance to have a pie in the face for the principal, vice principal, and it was a really cool event that they put together for those kids. But for any of the parents listening out there, thank you. You guys are raising some amazing kids, and I know it's not easy because I've moved my family around, and I've been moved around as part of a family, and it's never easy. But I hope that the community that we have here, whether it's the official resources that we have in place like Fleet and Family or the elementary school or MWR or any of those, or the unofficial programs that we have here, just the strength that the community itself has, the families who are knocking on your door as you show up, or you walking over to the family that just moved in, offering them a dessert and the chance to meet some new people in the neighborhood. It's amazing what we do here to take care of our kids. I love, my kids are just amazing, wonderful little creatures, and watching them grow up in this community here, watching them blossom, really, the people that they're turning into, it's so much fun to watch. And I will be forever grateful to the community here for all the support and the love they've shown my kids, and the chance to be able to recognize and support all of the other kids that are here. So that's what I really wanted to say. It's amazing.
Let them know they're not alone, and there's a whole bunch of resources here that help out with that. We have a whole bunch of good events to show our appreciation to them for keeping up and being resilient, like you were saying.
Yeah, and I think this coming week there is a month of the military child family night over at the school. So it's another one of those official resources that we have where you can meet with other parents that you may not have the chance to necessarily meet because they're in different neighborhoods or on different schedules. But just the chance to understand the community that's supporting your kids. There's so many great activities there. I think the highlight of that one is the Imagination Movers show that MWR is highlighting. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try and drag the family over there just to see those guys because I've heard that it's fantastic.
You know, I'm old because I grew up with the Wiggles, and then you're just like talking about the Imagination Movers. I'm like, then me and a couple of the guys in the shop here were looking it up, and like the Wiggles are still active. They're still going out and doing things.
I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, I don't feel so old anymore. But yeah. I know you have a few closing things you want to give out about Fleet and Family, a few more programs that you want to talk about as well.
Sure, absolutely. And I also wanted to follow up with what our CEO was saying, that for me, working with the military community, I grew up in a family that was peripherally involved in the military, but we didn't move around a lot. But my grandfather was a naval architect, and he spent like 17 years in the Philippines back in the late 1800s. Wow. And my father was in the military briefly before he went to medical school. But anyway, so it was always around me, and I didn't know too much about the military community intimately until I started working at Fleet and Family like 18 years ago. But one of the things that impacted me the most, and I feel like I have the most admiration and respect for, is exactly what you're talking about, is how resilient people are, because they do all of these, they go through so many changes every 2 or 3 years. It's so difficult. Just moving in and of itself is difficult, much less changing jobs and friends and all. And to see the kids, like you're saying, just grow up to be these very resilient people who are really worldly and have a broader perspective about differences and cultures and being tolerant. I just think it's so amazing. I know it's really hard, and I have a lot of respect for it. So I just wanted to say that. But yes, we do have programming that also supports deployment. We have the adolescent counselor at the school as well, who will be, she's new here, so she's getting integrated into the school now. But she's got a lot of programs. We also have other community partners that offer programming, like the MFLACs that are in the school. They do a lot of counseling with the kids and groups and things like that. EDIS has a parenting support group that they run as well. So, I know it can be really challenging as a parent, like you mentioned, to be in an overseas environment, to have to keep moving your family around. And there are obviously natural consequences to that. But yeah, we do have people here to help. So please feel free to reach out. And I just also wanted to give a plug for some of our virtual programming that's new. We have virtual counseling. That is something that's becoming more and more popular because people can make appointments online very easily, get set up quickly with someone, actually do the counseling outside of traditional work hours from the comfort of their own home. It's a little more private. You don't have to go anywhere. Yeah. So they offer the same types of counseling services that Fleet and Family do in person. So a lot of people are opting for that option. We also have a virtual work and family life, or WAFL, program as well. So especially when we're in a overseas remote location, and we're considered one of those locations, if commands need extra support, we can ask for assistance, and we can have virtual programming offered, one-on-one counseling and things like that. So I just wanted to put that out there.
No, it's great. It's reaching sailors and family members where they are.
Exactly.
Because it's not always easy to break away from work. It's not always the most comfortable thing to walk into a building that can have certain associations. Sure. But being able to do it from the privacy of your own barracks room, your own home, and have that conversation with somebody when you need to, it's an amazing tool. And I know it'll probably take a little bit of time to get used to that and to make sure people understand it's there. But the tools, the support that you guys have that you're rolling out, it's incredible. Like across the spectrum, all the ways that you guys provide that.
Thank you so much.
Shoot, I think we're running out of time, aren't we? The conversations, it's been so good.
Hey, it's always good to have a good conversation. I'll move it all the way to the end of the hour if we need to, but I just want to make sure that all the information is put out. I want to try to help as many of our new and old sailors here in Rota as we can, because again, they're what makes the base great. They're the ones who make everything happen, whether they're doing volunteer hours, whether they're just looking to help out the kids, show a little bit more resiliency. and, of course, staying warfighter ready.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so a couple fun things. So having fun, that's a big part of maintaining your resilience, is just having fun, getting the chance to kind of strip the uniform off for a little bit and just be a normal person. There's a couple of great opportunities for that coming up too. So this Saturday we got the color run. It's one of our messiest and most fun events that we have. I'm looking forward to getting out there. We're signed up to participate. So this Saturday, it's over by the gym. Please come, have fun. I think 10 o'clock is when it kicks off. If you want to sign up over at the fitness center and come join us for some fun Saturday morning. Talked about the month of the military child family night. Please come join us for all the family members that are out there. We've got the MWR Egg Explosion on the 19th. That is a huge event where we take over 2 softball fields by La Plaza. We seed it with a bunch of eggs, and then we just kind of unleash the kids.
It's wild. It's like
It's
the Riders
so
of
much
Rohan just rolling down the hill.
It is a lot of fun. And this year we've got it broken down into 3 different blocks because it's so popular. This gives more kids more chances to get more of those eggs. There's going to be a bunch of other stuff, booths and entertainment that's in the parking lot there. Come on out and join us for that. And I think at both the Color Run and the Explosion, Fleet and Family is going to have a booth there. There's going to be a couple of folks there providing some resources and things that you can take home with you, more tools that you can take with you to, come join us for that. And I think the last thing before we hit the top of the hour, on the 18th, I think you guys have something going on in front of the exchange, right?
Yes, sir. We have from 2 to 5 at the NEX. We're going to have some tables out there. We'll have some SAPR information. We'll also have, for the month of the military child, we'll have some child-friendly games and chalk-themed activities.
Cool.
We also have appreciation certificates that we will be handing out to our military children. So
Yeah, very cool.
please stop by and see us and bring the kids.
Yeah, awesome.